Chamber music fans, I cannot wait to see you in the coming weeks. We have our first concerts coming up of the season, and I've missed you so much, and I really can't wait to get together and hear some really, really great music. If you've got those post-pandemic blues, shed them and join us. It's time for us to gather and hear some fantastic music and tell some great stories. I don't want to wait till the end of the video to tell you maybe the most important thing, which is I think my favorite piece of music in the world is on this program, the Brahms Quintet. I started learning the Brahms Quintet, I think I was 19 years old when I got together with a quartet of musicians, and it was, you know what, it changed my life. And so to be able to come back to that and play this amazing piece of music and to start out our season, I just can't even tell you how excited I am to do that together with the Carpe Diem String Quartet, who are some of my very, very best friends. So I hope that you will join us for this. It's gonna be a great concert putting together 3 composers who have incredible stories. You know, I always say that mega talent can be born anywhere, but opportunity does not happen everywhere. And so it's always really amazing when mega talent is born into a situation that it is very difficult for them to actually rise up. And yet when they do, it is staggering. I mentioned Brahms. Brahms was born into poverty. He had a very sort of hard upbringing with his family not having very much money. They lived in tenement housing. They lived in a really rough area in Hamburg, which was a port city. Brahms' father was a musician, but he was kind of a gigging musician, kind of a street musician. And luckily for Brahms, he got taught the piano and taught various instruments. But when Brahms was like a young teenager, he was also kind of conscribed to be a gigging musician and was forced to play music in brothels. And so he was surrounded by some pretty shady people, and it really affected his life forevermore. But he was able to, through his kind of smarts and wits and connections and like sheer gumption, really be able to rise ahead so that all of his mega talent could be heard by the world. 2 other composers also have really interesting kind of backgrounds and were able to really demonstrate exceptionalism. We have Joseph Bologna, who's on the program. He was born in Guadalupe. His father, and he was born in the 1700s, so he was a basically a colleague of Mozart during that time. And his father was a wealthy plantation owner, a married man, and his mother was one of the slaves of this wealthy plantation owner. But Bologna was so incredibly talented from a young age that he caught the eye of his father, and he was an incredible fencer and learned how to work with swords. And so his father made sure that he could move to France and actually moved into royalty there, and soon became the bodyguard to the king. And through that connection, Joseph Bologna was able to learn violin and became as gifted and as talented a violinist as he was a fencer, and wrote all this incredible music and was given so many opportunities to lead orchestras, to play with orchestras, to compose music at a time that would have been completely impossible. So his incredible talent and cunningness and ability to kind of rise up and to kind of catch the eye of these people who could do a lot for him really allowed us to be able to learn about his music. So we're going to hear one of his quartets, just full of life, full of effervescence, full of passion, and full of ingenuity. And then also on our program is the piano quintet of Florence Price. Florence Price was an incredibly gifted composer. She was born in 1887, and she was in a multiracial family. Her father was a dentist, an African-American dentist, and her mother was a piano teacher. And so she taught Florence how to play the piano. And I think Florence Price played her first concert when she was 4 years old. Incredibly talented. She graduated from high school when she was 15, and she enrolled in the New England Conservatory as a pianist and as an organist. What's interesting is that she did not kind of own her African-American lineage. Instead, on her application, she said that she was Mexican and that she was born in Pueblo, Mexico. Something that she felt that she had to do because she knew that she would be discriminated about when she went there. And instead, she's able to rise above. She's able to write incredible music. She was the first African-American woman to ever have a symphony performed by a major symphony orchestra. And so she was able to kind of rise above, which is, I think, an amazing story in and of itself. And her music is so gorgeous, so beautiful, and so inspiring. And this piano quintet is particularly emotionally stirring. So it's just really wonderful to be able to tell her story, to hear her music in the midst of all of these stories of kind of rising amidst adversity. So I can't wait for you all to be at this concert. I think it's going to be fantastic. The music is so exciting. I told you that the Brahms Quintet is my favorite work of all time. And so that'll be very exciting along with everything else. So join us, be there. It's going to be so much fun, and it's going to be really great to see you all.